me share with you a disappointing statistic. African Americans are 20% more likely to experience mental health problems. Jasmine Pierre was one of them. She struggled with major depression, even attempting suicide, but came out the other side. She wrote a book about it and now developed an app, The Safe Place, that's targeted directly to African Americans. Jasmine Pierre, the creator of the Safe Place app, and physician Dr. Udine Harry are joining me now. And Jasmine, I do want to start with you. What does this app do to combat this problem? I mean, you yourself have gone through it.
Yeah. Well, I just made the Safe Place because I felt like there was not a very good representation of mental health issues for the Black community. This society is so westernized, and we don't really have, the stuff that we need to talk about mental health issues in the Black community. A lot of therapists of different races weren't taught that in school, so it's really silent in my community. A lot of Black people grew up thinking they weren't supposed to have mental health issues, that they were just supposed to pray everything away, and we were just supposed to be strong all the time. And because of that, that is why I was afraid for so long to talk about I had major depressive disorder and that I felt suicidal. But once I got over that stigma, I felt a relief, and I knew that there were other people who needed this message too. So this is why I created the Safe Place. I wanted them to have enough information to learn more about mental health issues, to learn about the statistics in the Black community. There's just a lot of different things to help the Black community be more okay with talking about their mental health issues.
Do you agree with that assessment, Dr. Harry, of why that number is there when it comes to 20% more likely to experience mental health issues, the African American community?
I do agree with what Jasmine is saying. I think many times we are not expected to reach out. Is very cultural for us. We're expected to take care of things ourselves, and we do experience quite a bit of stressors. And so if we have no place to go and discuss it, it's considered a sign of weakness oftentimes to discuss mental health issues. And so oftentimes we find that the African American community tends to isolate and withdraw, and even when we go to our physicians, it's something that we don't feel comfortable talking about.
And you know, this app is supposed to fight that. This app is supposed to turn that around. Jasmine, how do you see it doing that? And what kind of results have you seen from people that are using it?
The results have been so amazing so far, because I've had people in my community who might be afraid to talk about their issues, but they'll inbox me and they'll tell me thank you. Some people have told me this app has saved their life. So to hear that, that's the biggest result for me. I just want this to help my community. I want it to help save lives.
And it sounds like it's doing that.
We also have huge pride now with Black youth.
Yeah. And you know,
right now we have a really big problem with Black youth, where we are having a lot of suicides that we haven't seen before with Black children.
And you know, Dr. Harry,
even the Congressional has a task force now to see what's going on.
Yeah, and Dr. Harry, we've seen this on a larger scale with all teens. We're seeing record rates of suicide. 75% of people, by the way, of adults, report that they're either moderately or high stressed.
Absolutely.
And going into summer, when you're dealing with insane schedules, figuring out childcare, all of that, what's the number one thing that people need to do?
Well, the number one thing that we need to do is to change the way that we define how we are successful. Okay, so oftentimes when we're going into summer, we start focusing on things that add stress to our lives. How many of us want to maybe say, want a bikini-ready body, we want firm abs, when we really need to be focusing on health? And so I would say one of the things that we can do during the summer is exercise. And exercise actually can improve our health. It improves our moods, right? This is actually a form of treating depression. And exercise can also improve our blood pressure. So it's doing two things on our blood sugar. So if we then look at exercise as improving our health, then that's one of the things that we can do.
Dr. Harry, and Jasmine, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. An important conversation.